We've all overcome challenges or obstacles in our lives. Hey everyone, it's Terr Cacilia. For so long, my story and what's truly motivated me is all the pain that I've experienced in my life. From my parents' divorce, negativity from bullies, the numerous unexpected deaths of loved ones, and recovering from a traumatic car accident. Now at 23 years old, I'm taking my pain and I'm making it my passion. Who I am now is someone who is completely dedicated to making others feel good about themselves. If you're currently going through hardships, my message to you is that even on our darkest days, we are capable of greatness. Remember, through positivity, determination, and some personal style, we can all create lives we are proud to lead. Stay blessed, babes.
Yeah. Hello, everyone. How are you? I hope everyone is having a wonderful weekend. It's nice and toasty outside, so make sure you have some water with you too, because it's very hot. But today I have a very special guest. I have a very special guest with me today. As you see, I was promoting her on my Instagram, and her name is Terr Cacilia. Oh my God. I don't want to mispronounce her name because I'll mix it up with a previous guest that I had, Faith Costa. And when we were starting the show, I was saying, okay, it's this way, right? Because I was mixing her last name with Faith.
I don't mind that mix up. I love Faith.
So, hello to Miss Faith Costa. I hope you're doing well. Before we start the show, I wanted to tell everyone really quickly about a fashion show that will be happening August 25th in New York City. It's the Jade Marlin Fashion Showcase. It will be held at the Roosevelt Hotel in New York City, 45 East 45th Street in New York. Tickets are $40. You could purchase your tickets today. And it's going to be a very fun event, so make sure you get your tickets and make sure you check it out August 25th, 2018, the Jade Marlin Fashion Showcase. And on that note, I am going to come on over to my guest, Miss Terr.
Hello.
Hello, and how are you?
I am good. How are you?
I'm great. I am so thankful and excited to have you here as a guest today. We're going to have some fun and talk about a whole lot of things.
I'm ready. Play it on me.
So, Terr submitted her story to my Submit Your Story campaign, and at the time you was 23 years old.
Yes. I've aged a whole year.
And you accomplished a lot as a writer, stylist, model, and an influencer. And also, you're no stranger to life's trials and tribulations. When I read your Submit Your Story, I was like, wow, all this time with a lot of the things that I was going through as a young adult, being a teenager, I used to think that I was by myself, especially when it comes to bullying. I went through that.
Bullies.
And I used to feel by myself. You know, when people would say certain things about my weight or my complexion, or I had stretch marks on my arm at the time, I used to feel like singled out, and I used to feel bad because then when people would say those negative comments, the classroom would laugh.
Oh, yeah.
And you would, I used to feel like, you know, I just wanted to run out the classroom or hide under the desk.
Shrivel up and hide under the desk. Yes, absolutely.
And when I read your story, you went through a similar situation also, you know, with the bullying and teasing and stuff like that. And also you went through a numerous amount of other things also with your parents divorcing. Yeah. Your mom being diagnosed with cancer.
Yes.
And losing people.
Yeah. It was it was like, what's gonna happen today? Like, I felt like I was like walking through like a landmine field, and everything just like.
Oh, how did you, I guess, you know, not break down and crack? Because a lot of people
cannot handle that pressure. Right. Absolutely. And I mean, there is a very fine line where a lot of the people that I was getting close to at that time are now dead of like opioid or heroin overdoses, because that was like those, not like those people, but people who are also lost and tend to like find their ways to drugs, or they're also going through like tough times.
Right.
But I was raised Roman Catholic. Like, I don't completely identify with the Roman Catholic Church, but I definitely believe in God. And for a long time, during that time, I was like, God has abandoned me. But like, really, that core faith of just like believing in the good that my mostly my mother and like my grandfather was a Methodist minister, like just that core, like, no, little sheep, like I will guide you to your like ultimate, like, come, you know, what I'm doing now, basically.
Right.
And like I had to go through those hardships
to
do that. And like I should clarify, like when I talk about God, like I've kind of moved past like it being like a man.
Right.
I'm like more beyond that, being like, no, it's just the ultimate universe, like plan for you. There is one. There is one for everyone.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. I started learning that, I'm gonna say maybe about 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Where that whole energy thing, and you have to put out good in the universe to receive it back. I recently just started getting into that, and it's very true.
And once it starts to click, it will start. It starts to just like go and just keep things just keep unwinding and making more sense.
Oh my God!
Yes.
Oh
yeah.
Wow. When I was reading everything that you went through, and you just mentioned, for example, you know, people overdosing on drugs. You have a lot of young people that turn to that when they can't.
Because it's easier than having to face your own problems.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You're like, let's have them melt away. I totally get it. Like, I understand. I was there. I understand. Yeah.
And that's why I always say to young people, and just people in general also, how important it is, you know, when you have those dark moments, to find someone to talk to and get professional help. Yes. That's very important, to get professional help, because if you try to go through it alone, it could break you.
It's a hard battle to do it by yourself.
Oh,
absolutely.
So through that also, I read where you found some peace of mind going to online social media sites, like, for plus size
people.
Yes.
So I was like, first of all, I was like looking at like thinspo inspiration when I was like, I'm young. I'm like 8th grade, 9th grade, 10th grade. I'm like looking on like YouTube for like thinspo inspiration. And all of a sudden I'm like, I am never, ever, ever going to look like these. They're beautiful, you know, but I'm never going to look like these people. So I was like, if I'm not going to look like them, I need to like put in my line of vision people who I do look like. And like can be inspired by, and that's when, I mean, these are like way back, like Tess Holiday was still Tess Munster, and like she was just like, she was on her. So I mean, there's a lot of controversy, but I thoroughly do enjoy like her as a like person to look up to,
because
she's fearless and like she just fuck it, like, can I curse here? Like, she just like does, and like I'm like, yes, I want to like do like you. So like she was just like on like a billboard for like heavy, this is a long, like early, like now for us,
like when they started to accept, you know,
and there's still like Model Mayhem, and I was still like plus size models, like on Model Mayhem, just to like be like, oh wow, they're beautiful, they look like me, I'll look like that when I get older. Like,
it's nice to have people you can identify with, and you know, when you go into the comment section of some of these women and the things that are said because of their size or something, I'm like, are you kidding me?
You have nothing better to do.
Exactly.
Like,
then trying to bring someone else down. It's incredible. You know, social media, I think, have its good points and its bad points, and I think you just have to figure out what type of content you want to put out. And for me, I'm all about positivity. I can't do the negative stuff, because then I feel like that's what you attract.
110% that's what you attract.
So I try to just, you know, stay on that positive road with everything. And every now and then I'll see somebody make a crazy comment about something, and I'm like, I don't understand what that was for. I don't even respond. I just remove it from my content.
Yeah.
So in your opinion,
we ask you for my opinion
with social media.
Yes.
because like I just said, it have its good points and its bad
Yes.
points. What do you think of social media personally?
I go back and forth,
Mm-hmm.
and like, I think for like older social media, you like, not like our parents or anything, but like, for like 30 to
Mhm.
like 20, maybe like 25. Like we had the introductory of like
Yeah.
the social media in one way, but we still know how to manage ourselves and have like actual social interactions.
Mhm.
But if you're like, I just spent a week with like a 14-year-old, they
Mhm.
do not know like life outside of social media, and if
Mhm.
they cannot
That's
have a connection, it's literally a meltdown.
Yes.
It's a meltdown. And like I'm looking, we were on vacation, I'm like looking around at like people, I'm like, or maybe it's just them. I'm like, no, I'm looking around, it's all these young,
Mm-hmm.
like this is the only way they're getting validation, and they're just like in like a constant cycle of having to be in contact with each other. I'm like, I liked my friends, I didn't like my friends that much. Like I cannot talk to you that much.
I
Like,
just
we're-
find it amazing because when I get on the bus in the morning to go to
You're
work,
just like-
people be running into things because they looking more at their phone
Phone.
than what they should be looking at, and then they're on the phone at like 7:30 in the morning having a whole life conversation, and I'm like, how do you wake up with that much to say? Like,
I'm like, I don't want to talk to you. Like sometimes
it's early.
I won't even text like my boyfriend
Mhm.
for like a little while, or he won't text me, and I'm not offended.
Mhm.
I was like, I don't want to talk to you. I need something new to say to you.
Right.
It's not
It's-
nothing personal.
I just be amazed at that, and it's amazing how like when we was coming up, like you said, we the ones that had the introduction to
Yeah.
it, and how quiet life was without cell phones.
I miss that. There have been a few times like my phone's like looking a little jacked up, and I'm like, what if I just like didn't renew like a phone
Yeah.
plan,
Yeah,
which I'll never do. But like, what
Mm.
if I just didn't?
yeah.
Or like maybe you should put the limit, like this unlimited data, unlimited texting, unlimited phone call. Like,
Mhm.
what if there was a limit?
Right.
What would you do?
Right. Yes, because we just become too accustomed.
To it.
And I'm like not too long ago, before I got this new phone I have, my iPhone went out, so I was out of a phone for a day. And
That's a long 24 hours.
I panicked in the beginning, but then I was like, oh, I actually like this. If my mom needed me, I was at work and I just, picked up the phone, called, if you need me, this is my desk
Mhm.
number. Otherwise, I see you when I get home. That's what it was.
And like my mom was like, we used to go to the club, and then we go out for breakfast, and then we do this, and we saw this person, and I'm like, and you're like, you never called home? She's like, no, I had a quarter in my pocket. I'm like, what does that mean?
We had the payphones.
Yes.
Yes. I miss some of those times, and when I see, like you said, the kids attached to
It's
their
scary.
cell phones to the point where, you would think they was born with it, and it's their
I was like,
twin.
did you come out with like a Nokia, like, like it rang when you? I'm like, I'm born. Like, status
I'm
update.
like, if they knew what it was like to, for example, we had to go to libraries and do research when we had homework. We didn't have Google.
Yeah.
We had to, pick up a book, open it, and actually study for a test. Now you could go online and find answers to stuff.
Answers.
And, then you have math where everything now is computer and calculator driven. We had to learn how to do it manually.
Yes.
And then they would tell you, okay, now use the calculator, to come up with the answer.
Yep.
But make sure you know how to do it manually before you use that calculator. So times have really,
That was a Stone
really
Age.
changed.
That was the Stone Age.
I'm thankful for it because I did learn a lot from it. And I guess in a way I am thankful for what we have now.
Yeah.
Because it's a new way to meet people. It's a new way to get people's stories out, like yours.
Yeah.
And then with Cruz, we're in the mix. I could go on Facebook and do the show live, and he have inthemixradio.com.
Yes.
And people could interact. So it's definitely.
I mean, it definitely has its pros. Just like anything has pros and cons.
Yeah. So to
Yeah.
all the little people coming up, just know you have to also enjoy your life. You can put the phone
The
down
life
sometimes.
outside of the screen in front of you.
So, with, everything, I guess, when I'm trying to think of how to
Segue me.
Yeah.
Just ask. I'll just figure it out.
I want to switch gears and go to when you was working at Scorch magazine.
Yes, Scorch.
We talked about that a little bit.
Yes.
What was that experience for you? Because you was young when you started there, right?
Yeah. So I became their junior editor. I think it was a summer before my senior year.
Mm-hmm.
It was like 2011,
Mm-hmm.
I think. And my mom was like, because I was going to go to BOCES, which is like technical school, because I hated high school bullies. So I was allowed to go to technical school. I was going for fashion design and merchandising. Okay. So like my mom is like trusting me with like fashion design and merchandising instead of going to actual high school.
Right.
So she's like, if you're going to do this, you need to start proving yourself now for the future, because no one is going to be like, oh, you went to school for like fashion design. You must, like, they're just going to hand you like a career in like style.
Right.
She's like, you need to figure it out now. She's like, or like you're out, you know? So I'm like, okay. So nothing is like handed, and like you work for it, like you earn it, and like even then they're like, oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Because you still got to keep working for it. Like nothing. I'll win a Pulitzer Prize or whatever, and she'll be like, that was an okay book. Like,
she wanted you to do the work.
Yeah, like I have to do the work. So I started like reaching out to like, I'm like, all right, magazines, and then I came across Scorch, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is a plus size fashion magazine. So I like write it, probably now if I read like my pitch letter from like 2011, like high school Terr, I feel like, oh, you poor thing. But like I wrote this pitch letter, and I remember like texting my boyfriend, I'm like, I sent out a pitch letter, like here I go. Like, oh my god, you idiot. So I sent it out, and Tiffany Kaylin Knight like writes back to me, and she's like, we would like love to have you as a junior editor, right? I'm like, okay. So I do like I start putting together like my first photo shoots and like writing like their Halloween article, like 10 Halloween looks, you know? But like these are like the fundamental things of my career. And like getting to work with like Jessica Kane. Who gets to work with Jessica Kane when they're a junior, senior in high school? And like then they moved me into like the senior editor position, and I had a lot more responsibilities. And then by like 2015 things started to transition, where I really started to learn things with Tiffany on like how to be like an editor in chief. And then it moved, once Tiffany like became editor at large, I was the intern editor in chief, which was like for a very short amount of time, but it was like heavy duty.
A lot of responsibility.
Really got like an idea of like what it meant to run a magazine, like a publication. And like all the hats you have to wear. And like I will like be the first to admit I was not prepared. I did not know.
That was like, that sounded like that was, you know, God's or whoever, you know, we praise. That sound like that was his or
you can say his, you can say, whatever. I know what you mean.
That was his way of preparing you for everything that's happening now.
It absolutely was.
And I think that's totally amazing to be like a junior or a senior in high school, and you have those opportunities. That is great, because when I was a junior or senior, I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do. Yeah. So
so was I, only I was working for fashion magazine. Yeah, so I wrote like an article, and it was like how I became a senior editor of a fashion magazine at 22. And like I read it, and I'm like, who is that? Like who? That's me. It's like I have had like because I had my car accident during like that like 2016. So like a lot of it feels like, so you know in time how it's like AD and like BC. So like that stuff is Terr BC, which is like before crash, and this is Terr AD, like after disaster, because that car accident like
I like how you put that.
Yeah, because I needed a way to like, it feels like a different person, but it's still the same person, but like I had a mild traumatic brain injury, so like the way I like think of things now is different. And like that's part of the reason why I left Scorch, because I was like, I need time to just get to know myself again here in this position.
Wow. When I read about your car crash and the story you submitted to me, I was like, oh man, because you was driving and someone cut you off. And you hit a utility pole.
Oh yeah, I took that pole down.
Oh God.
They sent me a bill for it.
Are you serious?
Yep. It was over $50,000.
But that
They
wasn't
wanted,
your fault.
I know, and my mom, and we got served because we didn't, like, sent it to the
Yeah.
insurance company, we got served, and my mom's like, I will pay $20 a week for life, I will never have the money to pay you for this.
Oh my God, it's not your fault.
It's all resolved, but
I'm glad.
when I opened up that 50, I was like, like, aneurysm, I was like, what is this?
Oh, that's terrible.
Yeah, and we never caught the person who cut me off, they drove away, yeah.
So they're still out there.
They're still out there. I'm
Oh
like,
my
I was
God.
really mad for a while, like as mad as I could be for a while.
Yes.
And then all of a sudden I was like, you know what? Obviously they're okay. They drove away. I hope they're well. God bless them. Like
That, with any situation, especially one similar to that, we do hold on to a lot of anger because it's
yeah.
like, so I'm in this situation and you're wherever you are.
you beep beep drove away.
Yes. Oh my gosh, like how? Because I know when you go through something like that, and I read where you also had to basically, like you just said, reprogram yourself
Yeah.
and get used to yourself again. How long did that take you?
Well, it took a lot longer than with the pain from the accident, like nerve pain, like in my back and like neck, like whatever. Like, you know, you go to physical therapy. I'm like a yogi. I love yoga because like stretching it out makes me feel so much better. What really delayed me was the mild, like it basically was like a heavy duty concussion, which is a mild traumatic brain injury. And there was a time where I was like I still stutter now, and like it takes me like longer to like
I don't see that.
think. I know, because I'm really trying hard not to, and I'm trying to take my time answer you. But there was a time where I'd be like like and trying to talk, and it didn't show up right away. It took a week for the brain injury to show. So I'm home, and I wake up one morning, and my mom like asked me a question. I'm like blah, 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 and I can't like talk. And it took me like a long time to like get what I was trying to say out. So God bless. This is like the funniest. This like proves how much my boyfriend loves me. So I was like stuttering all the time. He'd be like, "Oh no, it's just a remix," and he downloaded the hip hop air horn and be like, "Wah, wah, 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 wah," like when I was trying to say stuff, because he knew I was so embarrassed, but he needed to make light of the situation.
Yeah. Or else you're gonna crack.
Or I was gonna crack. I was so like, I love to talk. Like I talk all the time, and now I can't get like simple like I want cereal. Like I'm like cereal. Yeah. And, like, I knew what I wanted to say. It felt like I was trying to talk to you, but my brain was, like, over there. And, like, it took me so long to, like, load the thought, which was scary because I was fine for a week, and then all of a sudden I couldn't talk the way I wanted to.
Oh,
Yeah.
Man. So, with that being said, is that part of the reason why you said you wanted to step back from Scorch?
Well, I worked for Scorch for a while. I need to, like, step back. So I stepped back a little bit, and I was doing things on, like, a lower level. And then I was, like, promoted like into the intern editor position like during this time frame, and I was just like, you know what,
But this is before your accident. Or?
Yeah, it was like all kind of happened at the same time.
Okay.
Because I think I got promoted. It was in my accident in May, and I got promoted like that summer sometime. So I was still trying to like do everything at full capacity when I was not at full capacity. So eventually I was just like, you know what, for like everyone's sake, like I need to like step back, which I felt like was a really good growing point for me personally. But for my career, I don't know, we'll find out.
But apparently, you know, you have been doing excellent because you also do your videos on YouTube.
Yeah.
Tell everyone about your YouTube channel.
So I started my YouTube channel in 2011, mostly as a suggestion from my therapist to get a hobby. And she was like, well, what do you like to do? I'm like, well, I love to watch YouTube videos. And this was like Candy Johnson, Shane Dawson, like Fred, like those stupid like YouTube videos. Like I was like a teenager. I'm like, this is so cool. I want to be a YouTuber. So now I have, what was like 1.6 million views on YouTube, and like growing, and like 15,000 subscribers, which like is not like, people have like millions, but like to me that's like a huge accomplishment, and I'm like so thankful for everyone. If you watch my YouTube videos, like thank you, like you're part of the reason why I'm sitting here today. But yeah, like YouTube,
you are the reason you're sitting here today.
Well, I guess that's true too. I guess. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
So, like, what do you do to come up with the topics for your YouTube? Like, is it all
Well, it's mostly like my boyfriend doesn't want to listen to me talk about them anymore, and like I have like 2 friends.
So just a way to
and
get it
once
out.
I've like saturated conversation with like my mom, my best friend, and my boyfriend, I'm like, I guess I'll just talk to a camera alone in my room for a couple hours, since no one wants to listen to me anymore.
You talk about some really good things. Like, I really enjoyed the one about plus size and dating.
That was a while ago. Yes.
Yeah, because, you know, there's a lot of us women who are plus size we're not comfortable with dating because of our size, or the things we're afraid of what people might say, or the way we'll be treated because we don't look a certain way.
Yeah. First of all, I've been in a relationship for like almost 10 years now.
Wow.
So I am so thankful, because I'm like hang out with some of my girlfriends and we're on like social, like they're like Bumble or like Tinder or whatever. Like, I don't even know what I would do. And like we were trying to come up, I guess you can like have like a description. I'd be like, mine would be so threatening, because I'd be like, get out of the way, like, get with me, or like, I don't know. She's like, you can't do that, you need to be nice. I'm like, I'm not nice. Yeah, I think it's definitely hard for a plus size woman to date, because like, am I a fetish to you or am I not? And like that, the trust period, like sometimes like like, how long do I know until I can trust you? Because you hear like horror stories, people are like years in and they're like, all of a sudden they're like, ha, joke's on you. Like, yeah,
it's definitely, you know, as many know that I went through my situation with someone who was verbally abusive to me, and a lot of that stemmed from me being bullied and teased coming up, not feeling comfortable with who I am, and you know, feeling insecure. And that's what I actually attracted, someone who didn't appreciate me because I didn't appreciate
because you didn't appreciate
myself.
yourself.
So when I see women like you who do videos about plus size dating, I'm like, I'm so happy that, you know, someone is out here talking about, you know, this topic, because you have a lot of women that feel ashamed of it and won't say anything to anyone.
No.
And you shouldn't feel ashamed. You should, like you know, find communities, you know, where you could talk about these things, because it will enhance you feeling good about yourself, because there are people out there going through the same thing. So I definitely commend you on touching on that topic.
I felt like it was important. Like, and I didn't want it to be like, oh, so sexy. Like, no, I'm like, these are just like the facts of like dating when you're plus size, and like things to keep in mind for your partner, potential partners, and for yourself. Yeah.
Right. Because also when you become intimate with that person, it's like
a whole new ball game.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So you have to be comfortable from the door, or else your insecurities will show, and that person who claimed they for you could use that to be against you.
It's like, you're either gonna love all of me or you're gonna love none of me.
Exactly.
And like, either way, like I'll either find someone else or we'll be good together. Like,
If you don't mind me asking, what do you think are some tips, you know, that you could give women who may feel insecure about dating because of their size?
I feel like RuPaul's, like, if you ain't gonna love yourself, like, ain't nobody gonna love you. Like, it's like the like golden rule.
Yes.
Like, you need to love yourself. Like, because that's the same. Like, you can walk away from like anything if you know you're good.
Right.
Like, your bills are paid. Like, you're good. Then you're just here for the fun of it. You know. Like, you need to love yourself. Like.
Right.
Inside and out.
Right.
If it's sketchy, it's probably sketchy.
Yes.
Like,
if
trust your intuition.
Right, yes.
Your gut knows before you do. If it's sketchy, it's sketchy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Definitely. That's one of the things too I had to learn coming up, because I always wanted, like, I was raised by my mother, grandmother, and uncle. But my mother and grandmother, you know, they taught me, you know, you don't have to always be nasty to people. You don't have to be nasty to people.
Yeah.
You know, if you be good and be nice to people, it'll come back to you.
you.
I was like that for a very long time, and then, you know, my mom was like, oh, you so nice, it's disgusting. Like, you're gonna have to toughen up a little bit.
I always get that. Like, you're too sensitive. Like, you're too nice. I'm like, sorry?
And I, like, when you look at everything that's going on in the world, I try to take myself out of that and be even more of a nice person, because I don't want to be part of what goes on out there. But it's like, sometimes people will make you come outside your character.
Yes.
And, you know, I think that's one of the things too you have to do when you're, you know, dating. When someone is making comments, don't let it go over your head when you know that is not right. because for me, I sat there and I accepted it because one, I was by myself for a long time, and I said I want to date. You know, I want to see what it's like to be in a relationship, and things would be said, and I'm like, okay, you know what, whatever. Don't do that to yourself.
No.
Because all it's gonna do is eat you up inside, and you'll end up being mad at everybody.
Yeah. Like, it's like a volcano. Like, it will bubble and bubble and bubble, and eventually you're going to blow.
Yes.
And it's not good for you, and it's not good for anyone around you because,
Exactly.
like, it's destruction.
Yep.
It's just pure destruction.
Exactly.
Yep.
So to the women out there who are plus size and you may be insecure, don't be insecure. You know, there's someone out there for you. You just have to get out there. And as soon as you meet someone and either they're not doing what you want, they may say something that's negative, walk away.
And I feel like this what I'm about to say kind of goes back to the social media thing, which, like, how easy, like, it is, like, instant gratification and stuff. If it's going to be a really good relationship, it's going to be a lot of work, and it's not going to be all about you.
Right.
Like, it's no longer just your Instagram profile. It's you and so-and-so's Instagram profile.
Oh, yeah.
And, like, every other post is going to have to be them. Do you know
Yes.
what I'm trying to, like, get to? Yeah. It's hard. It's not an easy thing. It's not an easy thing to share.
I saw your boyfriend on some of your Instagram posts.
Yeah.
So how long were you two together? You said you was with him since high school, 10
Yeah,
years,
I
right?
was a freshman in high school when we started. We met on
Wow.
MySpace.
I remember MySpace.
Remember
the
MySpace?
First one.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
That is cool.
Yeah, I was a little emo girl, a little scene kid with my coontails. Yep. And then he was like, we had, like, mutual friends because I used to sneak out and go to this, like, rock club in, like, a very sketchy city near where I live. And, like, my mom had no idea for the longest time. And we had mutual friends. So one day he came up in my MySpace and he was like, "You're absolutely beautiful." And that was it. That's all she wrote. Yep.
Oh, that's so nice.
It's just, like, one of those, like,
and it's easier because you knew him already.
we
so,
like mutually like we
Right.
had been, like, floating in the same circle and we had yet to collide, and that was, like, finally our moment to, like, click, which was, like, great because it's been 10 years. Obviously,
Right.
we're still clicking.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, and I think also what's cool is when you have someone and you're able to bring them on your journey.
Yeah. We were just talking and I was like,
He's here. Can we bring him in?
I don't know if he wants to. He's shy. He's not on my social media a whole lot
Right.
because, like, he's very shy. I don't think he'll go. He'll go in? Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I'm shocked, honestly.
Where do I go? You can sit right here.
Oh man. Plot twist. We shouldn't have given him a microphone. He talks way too much.
You could go on that one, Cruz.
Oh.
Oh, okay, you can pull that microphone to you.
Oh man.
Just pull it to you. So a little bit more.
We're, like, one step closer to the podcast I want to do, just so you know.
My podcast really wouldn't be interesting to everybody in this room. Especially, like, talking about space and Star Trek and video games. Actually, I saw
There's
The
nothing
Office.
wrong with
so.
that. Nothing wrong with that at all.
No.
So
You.
my question to you is, like, what we're talking
Oh
about
boy, I
with,
got questions already.
with relationships.
Be careful.
A lot of people, as we said, you know, have that negative stereotype for women that are plus size. And for men, you know, dating a plus size woman, were there people who had, you know, negative things to say about you, and you was like, you know what, this is my woman and I don't care what anyone
I can think of
say.
one.
What's that?
One
Chubby
time.
Chaser? Was it?
Yeah.
Oh, like a YouTube video?
Or even at that party that one time.
No, I mean, I never really looked at as a physical thing. Like, I was always more attracted, like, for me, like, attraction in a woman and in a partner. You know, I was raised by a single mom. So
Oh.
it's always been, like, a matter of, like, strength. You know, I mean, if a woman's strong and independent and able to, you know, do her own thing, that was always an attractive point to me. So that's what it was that, you know, attracted me to her. Do I like bigger women? Yeah, I guess so.
I was like, I'm good. One time we went, when I think it was the last Plus Night Out.
Yeah.
Remember Plus Night Out, like
Yeah.
Oh my
Joanna
God.
Reyes? So I'm like, I'm going to take you out. And it was like the lingerie fashion
Yeah.
show. And I'm like, you were going to have the best night. I'll take you to the nicest places.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's like Sir Mix-a-Lot says, you know, rice and beans never miss you. So I'm like, if he's cool with it, I'm cool with it. So.
But
that's a great community, though. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. You know, it's like I feel like attraction is such a multifaceted thing. You know what I mean? Like, you can have a whole type of conversation on itself. Like, it's you know, as much as it's physical. You mean look at somebody, oh, you're physically attractive. It's spiritual as well. You know what I mean? And having a good heart. You know what I mean? A lot of like, these plus size women, they got good hearts. They're not super. You know what I mean? They're not shallow.
Yes.
You know, sorry, all these a lot of skinny bitches are shallow.
He said it, not us.
You know, this is like all the pay. You know what I mean? All the comeback, clapback for high school. You know, where I got stood up by every prom queen and every cheerleader.
Like literally, the prom queen like dumped him.
Really?
Yes.
Oh,
I know.
man.
I took my track jacket back. I had my name on it and everything. I took that back. Yeah. She has it now.
Yeah.
That's why,
that's like so long ago,
like
though.
I was saying with Terr, that it's important, or it's a wonderful feeling when you meet someone you could bring along on your journey, because you're able to connect and the person understand some of the things you're going through, and that brings you even closer together.
And I was thinking about, I think maybe I mentioned it to you. I don't know. We talk so much, me and him. So like, I don't even remember what I tell him or what I don't tell him. I was like, I feel like we've been together so long that I've loved, like, it's not like we've been in one single relationship, because like I've loved the different phases of you, like, literally growing up. Because like met you when you were like 17.
Yeah.
And now you're 26, 20. Like, I don't even remember how old you are. I'm 24. You're 2 years older, so you're 26.
Yeah.
But like, I've loved you for like 10 years. Like, I've loved the different phases of your life. Not all of them were the best, and like had the greatest like hair choices and stuff. But you could say the same for me. But like, I've loved you through all of them.
I don't know what you're talking about.
That's wonderful. Like, just like for you to be sitting here, and for you to be sitting here, and you both are able to talk about how much you love each other, and
I guess it's always it is. It's like the way I look at it, and I guess this is like the best piece of advice on the topic of love and dating is like find somebody you want to build an empire with.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And it's not going to happen overnight. You make me 10 years, it's not going to be easy, and that's all it comes down to is like somebody who's like-minded. You know, it takes two people to do it.
Yes.
And it's you know, you also got to be smart about it. You know, so you have to always consider the other person. It's like a business almost. It's like there's always going to be another business partner involved in this big business of life and dating, and you need to find somebody you're confident and you know that can make those right decisions.
Right, exactly. That's what I think I'm waiting on for myself. I definitely want that one I can build an empire with, and my guy friends that I meet along the way, I always say, if I could take a piece of them and build what I wanted.
Build a boyfriend workshop.
Yes, I would love that. Like, for example, not to put him on the spot, but my friend Lawrence over here, known him for a while, and I'm like, if I could take a piece of him, a piece of Cruz, a piece of my other friend, a piece of this one, like, and build what I want.
Frankenstein.
I would have what I
want it.
And I would be happy. But it don't work that way.
Nope.
So when I do date, I look for a piece of them in someone. You know, like, what is your mind frame about entrepreneurship? What is your mind frame about family values and morals? What is your mind frame about, for example, paying attention and watch how they pay their bills and stuff like that? So I definitely, look for those things.
But love yourself.
Yes.
No matter what.
Yes, you have to. So I definitely love the relationship.
The love.
It's
love
beautiful.
The love.
Yes.
I love the love you, baby. Yeah. We just saw that Donna Summer
He took me
show.
to
That's
see
like
the Donna
still in
Summer
my head.
musical.
Like,
10/10 recommend. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
See, look at this. I love the connection and the chemistry that you had.
We're just like kids, literally like children. Yeah.
I love it. So, I'm not gonna touch you anymore.
He's like, thank God I'm out of here.
Mama Nina company again.
Thank you, Zachary, for coming on.
All right.
He's running. He's out the door. He did it.
Yes.
He's like, I'm sorry. Like, I low-key felt like, had a feeling like that was going to happen. But I was like, I'm not even going to say anything because he'll like spasm.
I like to do that when I have guests.
Yes.
I'm like, you know what? I could tell you're shy, like me, because in my own way I am shy. So I'm like, I'm gonna pull you in here.
Yes.
So, so I definitely, you know, again, as I said before, love everything that you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
And another piece,
Ooh,
besides being a stylist, a model, an influencer, and a writer,
here comes the heavy hitter.
you are also a psychic medium.
Yes. Oh, it's still like very weird for me to say out loud. It's a thing. Yes.
At what age did you discover you were?
The age I could like vocalize it to people was like 3, like actually explain what was happening. But I remember like early memories, remember things like happening and not having like explanations, but not being able to communicate with the adults around me, like this is happening to me. Yeah.
I believe in the afterlife. I believe in psychics. I believe.
Yeah.
I don't shut myself out because I always say, for me personally, who am I to say that someone don't have a gift? Who am I to say that someone's experiences aren't true?
If it was not happening to me, actively happening to me, I would not believe it. I'd be a total, like, you're a liar. Like, you're a skeptic, you're a con. But, like, I've seen some shit. That is real. And, like, Zachary's super uncomfortable about it. We've obviously, I've known my whole life. But, like, he does not like to talk about it, which is, like, really interesting. Like, he's open to it. He knows that it's real, and he'll, like, let me talk about it. But, like, nope. See, like left the room. I can't read them now. No. Yeah.
Wow. Like,
yeah.
What was, like, one of, if you don't mind me
You can ask any question about it. Anything at all. Yeah.
What was, I guess, your first experience in realizing you had it?
So I'll do the first experience in, like, being able to vocalize it. So, like, a little, like, set up the story. My mom's sister, Kathleen, died when she was 18 in a car accident, right? I have been seeing her my entire life. And, like, 110%, like, she is my guardian angel, you know? So I was, like, little, and I was, like, playing, like, teacups, like, in her room because it became my playroom. And, like, literally she came to me, like, came down to me and was like, take me to your mom and grandma, dear. And she kept saying, like, dear, like, so, like, loving and stuff. And I walk into that, like, they're raised in an Italian household, and I'm like, they're sitting there, like, drinking coffee and eating, like, coffee cake. And I'm like, here she is. And nobody walks in the door. But, like, to me, like, I see her, like, come in, and, like, she did not know that they couldn't see her. This is a 3-year-old. And my mom will tell you, like, they looked at me like I had, like, 3 heads. And she will tell you that you saw her, we knew you saw something. And we were like, oh, my God, we need to, like, put this child away.
That's good, though, because they, you know, didn't try and, you know, shut down.
Well, then I started to, like, say things to them, like, that she used to do. Like, I'd be like, oh, because people, they have a swimming pool, and, like, she was young, and, like, she's skinny dipping, and she always wanted to, like, skinny dip. I'm like, she's skinny dipping. What 3-year-old tells you? First of all, what 3-year-old knows what skinny dipping is? I'm like, oh, she's doing this. Or she's, like, she was a cheerleader, so I used to, like, do cheers. And, like, they'd be like, how
do you know that?
Why? I'm like, she's doing it with me. And, like, I used to ask my grandpa, like, about death. And be like, what does dead look like? What is dead like this? And he would, like, say, like, he's like, you look like this, and your hair's all, and your nails are like this. And I'm like, no, that's dead. This beautiful angel that I'm seeing, that she's dead. No. Yeah.
Oh. So.
I know, right? And this is when I was a kid. Yeah.
Wow. But it's good that, you know, your family members supported you.
To a point, yeah. Yeah.
Oh, because, you know, you hear of stories where people, you know, I don't.
Yeah. Well, my mom, she's like, we're like God-fearing woman, you know, and she was always like, you don't want to talk about, like, your kids seeing dead people. So she was like, believe me, but to a point.
Right.
And then I was about 13 years old, and I woke up one morning, and I just walked out into the living room like something, like, took me over, because I remember the dream vividly, and I just said to her, Mommy, I had a dream. Augie's gonna die, which was my dad's coworker. He's dead. He died. And she was like, you don't say that. You don't say that about people, blah, 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 right? So then I go to school. I'm like literally, like, I felt like, you know, you feel when you lose somebody.
Yeah.
I felt like I watched this person die in my sleep.
Mm-hmm.
Like was like hovering over them and I watched them die. I get a phone call after like my tutoring after like school that day. She's like, "Oh my God, Terry, Augie died last night."
Mm-hmm.
And she's like hysterically crying.
Right.
I'm hysterically crying. She like picks me up from school. She's like, "I'll never question you again.
Right.
I totally believe you." And like I just tell her. I have another really good story if you want me to tell you.
Go ahead. 'Cause
I could literally.
I love.
I've been waiting
hearing
like
the story.
24 years to talk about all these experiences, and I finally, like, after my car accident, decided, like, you know what, this is like another part of me that needs to be like
Right.
talked about because I feel like it'll help people.
Do you feel when you had your car accident that opened up like communication?
So when
even more?
I crash and like I like pass out or blank out or whatever, and I literally heard in my head, "What are you doing? You're not supposed to be here." And like I saw the white light and I was like not in pain or anything, and then I feel like somebody just like threw me back into my body and like, "Oh, it hurt."
Oh.
Yeah, but I literally heard like, "What are you doing? You're not supposed to be here
Right.
yet." Yeah, and like after that, I had been open. It was nothing compared to like what my life is like now, which is part of the reason why I've decided to talk about it. Yeah.
Right. Because I would think, you know, it would be hard to, you know, maintain something like that because of all the experiences that you come across with it.
I have journals like filled of like dreams or like things like I've thought were gonna happen. I could like literally talk. We should just have to have a separate show about this. But like literally like so much has happened. Yeah, but the best story. This is my favorite. Like I mean I have a lot of stories, but this one's my favorite. I have to tell you.
Please.
So after my car accident, like I needed to get a new car. So like the time came to buy a new vehicle.
Right.
So we shop around and finally we decide, like I picked my cute little Nissan Altima out. So we're sitting and waiting to like meet with the financial person. And there's like people walking around the showrooms and I just like, this guy like walks by and I'm like, I need to talk to him. Well, lo and behold, he becomes my financial, like they figure out your loan.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting there and he's like, you know, punching numbers, like this nice little bald man, very nice guy. And I'm just like, so, I have a question. And at this point, my mom, like, I've read some people in, like, Michael's craft store and, like, the grocery store. And, like, I'll just walk up to people and read them now. She knows. She looks at me and she grabs my thigh. And she's like, ooh. She's like, not now. I'm like, it's too late. I'm like, have you recently lost your sister? And he's like, yes. I'm like, was her name Deb? And he was like, yes. And he was like, did you know her? I'm like, no, she's standing right behind you.
My God.
And he's like, excuse me.
Sure,
He was like, excuse me, I need to leave. And he's crying and he left the room. And my mom was like, he's going to raise your rate. He's going to give you a high interest rate. This is all your fault. We're not going to get this loan. He comes back. He's like, okay, I'm ready to talk now. And I just like, it just came out and I just read him, right? Well, I got the best deal on my car.
I'm sure.
I got and he gave me the friends and family discount. I got free oil change and car detail for like 3 years. All this stuff. And he called me a couple days later and he was like, and like I told him he had to take over for like her sons.
Right.
And like, how do I know? I'm like, she knows everything you're doing and like, I feel like there's a promotion, but I guess her son like won like class president going into 9th grade. I'm like, she got a promotion or he got what he was like, like I was trying to like word it. And he was like, how? Yeah. I'm like, I don't know how. Yeah. So that's like one of my favorites. So now everyone goes like car shopping in my family. They're going to come give us the psychic discount. I'm like, no.
Wow. So
yeah.
You watched that show, what is it called?
Long Island Medium?
Yeah. Do you watch that?
I try not. I like watch sometimes. My mom like really likes it now. And she likes to watch Tyler on like the Hollywood Medium.
Yeah.
I try not to watch them. Not because I don't like them, and obviously not because I don't believe them. But like I just feel like I don't want to pick up any of their tics of like how they read.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? Because like we're kind of like sharing the
own
style, and I'm afraid people are gonna be like comparing me to those people, and I don't even want to be able to be like, oh yeah, I'm doing it like her. No, I have my own style.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I always said, because again, I was raised by my mother and grandmother and my uncle, but more so my mother and grandmother. They're very open to spirituality.
Yeah.
My grandmother used to always say she would see her mom.
Yeah.
My mother would always come up with these strange things of, I feel this way, I feel that way, I gotta stay away from this person.
Trust that. Trust that. Because I'm not special. I'm just open. Every single one of us has some level of like collective and intuition.
Yes.
Yeah.
I agree.
I'm not special at all.
Wow.
Yeah.
So when you was in school, I'm sure because you had the ability, would you see things around like in school and everything?
And then especially in elementary school, it wasn't so much like I knew what was happening. It was just like pure panic attacks.
Oh.
Yeah. Because I was still trying to
figure it out. Going on.
And like as I've like gone from like like a small child to like elementary child to like teen, and then now as like a young adult, it's like it's developed and like I feel things in different ways.
Yes.
But like when you're a kid and like you're picking up everyone's energy, that's really scary. And I used to have like terrible like your kid, and like I was like very sheltered, like not a lot of TV, wasn't like there was like my parents like didn't want me to read Harry Potter for a little like, is that like witchcraft, is that okay? But like I read the yeah, like, but I would have like these dreams of like terrible death and like people dying, and my mom was like, what's wrong with her? And like, no, I'm just like helping like spirits. They just like, especially children, are like beacons. So I was just like attracting every single thing around me and like having to help process death states for dead people, and I'm like 7.
Did any of them, like, because you when you see them on TV, you see a lot of spirits that they look scary.
Yeah, because they're scared. So they're trying to scare everything around them. Yeah, they don't know what's going on. Like sometimes they don't know if a spirit is. All right. Hold on.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. So this is my experience. I'm not saying this is everyone else's experience. For people who like commit suicide or have like a long and painful death, or like things like happen, like, or you die quickly, like parts of you like fragment off of that, and like what do you think is like left? Your negativity. So what's gonna show itself? The negative parts of your death. And you're scared, so you want to scare everything else around you away. That's why.
I guess that goes to say also they still holding on to that anger or something.
Oh yeah, it's one of the hardest things. You can't even let go of anger when you're alive.
But I always thought like when you pass on, there was.
If you're not ready to pass on, you're going into like purgatory or the holding period or the veil or like whatever.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Jesus will accept like half of you, but like the other half needs work.
I didn't know that.
You
I
just
thought,
think
like,
of like
when
you're,
you go, you're supposed to like let all of
Sometimes
that go.
there's still like, that's what happens with me. Like why it's the only reason I'm able to communicate with the dead, because like either they're clean and like they can come through, or there's part of them that's still holding on to something in life that there wasn't completed, or they need to say.
Oh, so
and like a lot of people, like we've lost our way from like having a core moral value. So like a lot of people aren't just walking in.
Yep, I agree.
And that goes for anyone. Like you're not just walking in anymore because no one has a core moral value. No one's worked on themselves. No one's opened their third eye. No one's polished it up. Why are you just walking in then? You're not.
I agree. Wow.
It's not a membership.
How?
Did I blow you away a little bit?
No.
Okay,
because,
okay.
My mom and I, we always talk about that because in my house, it was previously owned by my grandmother and my grandfather. And when I was a baby, he passed. So he knew who I was, but I really didn't know who he was.
Yeah.
And I'll always hear all these great stories about him and everything.
I get like 2 initials.
Uh-oh.
I'm not going to do it right now. There's a lot of people around me.
but they called him by his initials.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sorry, now you're going
Sorry, I didn't
That's
want to do
okay.
it. See, it just comes out like word vomit.
Because my mom and I, we always talk about him.
Yeah.
And we always say we know he's here.
Yeah,
We know.
my
We
grandpa's hanging
know.
out at my house too.
I know. And for me, my mom and I, we always say we are fine with you being here. Just don't show yourself to us, because then we're going to be
Terrified.
But hold on. Mom, are you where? Can you come by the door? You don't mind if I tell a little bit, like,
I don't mind if you say anything. This is very interesting to me because I feel like I'm connected to all that anyway. So it's just
It's good.
okay.
We're good.
Yeah.
So when you talk about, for example, we have two cats, Sasha and Midnight.
Oh, they see it. Yeah.
I think they do.
Oh yeah, my dog all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, what? I mean, I know if I try hard enough, I'll know. Like, I know what you're looking at. But sometimes, like, please just leave me alone.
How do you turn yourself off from that? Is there a way you could turn yourself off? Like, you know, like say not today.
All right,
I'm
okay. A lot of the times it's like, please leave me alone. There have been times when I've been like, please don't fucking talk to me. I can't handle it. I really like, I sage and like the holy wood, and like I have my space. I'm like, okay, I'm turned on, we can talk. But a lot of times I'm like, please leave me alone. Like, please, not tonight. And like there'll be nights when I'm like laying in bed and like I feel like the line starting to form. I'm like, not tonight. Business hours are between 9 and 5. Yeah. And like when I
Wow.
first, so I moved into my grandma's house after my parents' divorce.
Oh, like
Whew.
my mom and I living in my grandparents.
Yes.
Okay.
So like it comes with its own history. So my grandpa died in the house, which is fine. I love my grandpa. I love to see my grandpa. Everyone else in the house, not so much. They're not down with it. But my aunt and her friends used to do a Ouija board in the basement. I don't-
One and my mother
I
said
don't-
get rid of
Don't
it.
fuck with that. I don't do that. But because of that, there is like, and I've like really done a lot of like cleansing and like this is a holy place. Only the like bright light, you know, the white light shines here. Only good. But like every now and then, things just like start going. Do not use Ouija boards. I don't even like to say the word. Don't do it. Yeah, because
What's
you don't.
in it though to open up, to have that power?
Well, I feel like it's so unfair to like trap people, like trap spirits and trap energies in your where they don't belong anymore. They belong on the other side of the veil now. They don't belong over here, or they would be over here, and that's when you get like poltergeists and like
right.
like crazy spirits. And this is why they have a whole industry, because of this. Yeah,
The
the boards. Yeah.
Oh, I had one. I used it, and
I want you to like take it to the backyard and burn it.
Can you do that though? Because I heard you can't.
And you're not supposed to, I don't
Okay.
think, but like I don't even want to touch it. I don't even want to know. I don't want anyone else to get it. Don't give it to a thrift store.
I had one. My mom and I used it one time in the house, and we asked if my grandfather was there, and that little thing just jumped.
Yes.
And me and her was like, okay, that's enough. We going.
I mean, I'm sure if you did like the opening correctly and like the closing correctly, like just like when I do a reading, like I do the whole like opening
Right.
spiel, and then when I'm closing it, I do the whole closing spiel and like blow out the light and like sage my area, like we're done. First of all, I don't want anything following me home,
Right.
because that when I first started, like that was happening, and like the other, yeah, spirits are nosy. Yeah, I've had some
Oh.
like there was. Maybe it was like when I first moved in and that house was bumping and I hadn't like totally like cleansed it yet, and like I said, my boyfriend is not, Zachary is not down. Zachary's not down. And one time we're like laying in bed and like we literally heard something like like at the end of the bed, and he was like and Zachary was like, not today, Jesus, take the, like he was like, nope, not gonna happen. And he was like, you tell that to go away right now. So I literally sat at the end of the bed and I was like, I don't know what you are, I don't know who you are, but you ain't invited.
Right.
Like you need to go.
And I heard that's how you have to speak.
No,
to
you
it.
have to like claim your
Right.
space.
Mm-hmm.
You have to claim your space in body positivity. You have to claim your space
Right,
spiritually. You need to
right.
just own your time here.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Oh man. So poor Zachary.
He's okay.
I could imagine, because I would have made a new exit out of the house, like that wall.
I think there was like a Zachary-shaped hole in the wall. He was gone. Yeah, and he's like, he won't sleep in like one of the rooms in my house, and he was like, nope, there's too much. It's my aunt's old bedroom,
Mhm.
and he's like, nope, there's too much going on.
Mhm.
It's like I can't do it, and there is. You feel
But
the difference.
I'm sure because of him being around you, you showed him how to
Oh, yeah.
notice when something is
Oh, he
off.
knows. Yeah. And like whether or not he wants to admit it, like he has abilities.
Mhm.
He won't admit it.
Do we all have?
We do, but some people are more tuned in. Like I said, I'm not special. I'm just open.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh, because I honestly believe, I always say to my mother, I feel she's a psychic in her own way.
Well, yeah. As soon as I her, and as soon as my energy and her energy saw each other, it was like part of me was like, oh, there you are. Like it was just like a part of the journey. Like I've met this energy before, and like I'll meet it again, and like you know what I'm saying? Yep. Right. Yep.
And I remember, a story she told me, when, you mind if I talk about the Nina? Okay.
She gave you
Thank
full disclosure.
When 9/11 happened.
Yeah.
And I remember she said she was halfway to work and something told her to turn around and come back home.
I love those stories.
And when she came home and she went through the entire house. And when she got to the attic, she just felt cold. Right? Mom, that's how the story go?
She's like, I gotta come tell. She's gotta come tell
You
the story.
just come sit here.
This is like a guest just walking in the door this time.
Everyone, this is my mom, Miss Cynthia Grazer. So that was the story, right? I don't want to miss that.
Yes, my experience was I was on my way to work. It was a beautiful day,
It was a beautiful day.
gorgeous day. And I was halfway there, and something told me to go back. I went back, and my mother was like, what are you doing back? And I was like, I don't know. I just had to come back. So when I went in the house, I went downstairs in the basement. I went back on the first floor. I went on the second floor. I went in the attic. Then when I went in the attic, I just held my heart. I was like, oh my God, it's too many people. And I started crying. So I went back downstairs and she asked me what was wrong. And I said, I don't know, but I'm going to try to go to work. I know.
Yeah.
So I went to work and my boss, he says, you're a little late. I said, yeah, I know. And I told him the experience that I just had. So he was like, if you feel like you need to go home, you can go home. And I was like, no, it's just so weird. And then that's when it happened, 9/11.
Yeah.
And I just burst. I was like, my daughter, where's my baby? Did she go to school? Because she was going to school in New York. And I was petrified.
Right, 2 blocks
And
away
I
from
called,
the Trade Center.
yeah. And I called home and my mother said, you was upstairs?
Don't.
And I was like, oh my God.
I
But
didn't
I
feel like
still
going to
broke
school, so I
down
was
like
like,
she
no.
was there. So that was my big experience. I've heard you say a lot of experiences. I've had a lot of experiences also.
And whenever, I was, I'm going to say coming up and a teenager into my early 20s, my mother would say, don't be around that person because there's something about them that's off. And 9 times out of 10, well, 10 times out of 10, she was always right.
Yeah.
So when I hear of people say they have those abilities, I always say, I believe them because, in my opinion, we was put on this earth to do different things first. And then on top of that, everyone has a different experience and a different path to take.
Yeah.
And I just think if people open up their mind a little bit more than what they have it open, they'll discover it's so many things in this world that's unique and so many things in this world that could help you if you take the time to get to know people and listen to them.
You'll notice how different you are and how completely the same we are.
Yep.
Yeah.
I love hearing stories about how your journey where you started being bullied and teased and going into Scorch magazine and going online and becoming a stylist and a writer and a model. And I know people love to tell someone they can't accomplish these things because of the way they look, where they're raised, their size, whatever. And I love you because you beat those odds. Like you was like, I'm not stopping. Yes, I'm going through this. Yes, I went through that, but I have so much to offer.
Yeah.
And just talking to you, I love it.
I'm so happy to talk. I'm happy to be here.
So
This is great.
my next question, if you don't mind, about
Yeah.
being a psychic. Like, what, when it comes to kids that passed on,
Yeah.
yeah, like, especially for parents, what are some tips that could help them, if you have any?
For the parents that have the kids
Yeah,
who
because
passed on.
that's hard to deal with.
Yeah.
And you see a lot of the stuff going on in the world now.
Oh, yeah.
With the school shootings and everything.
Yeah. Yeah. So, the thing with, like, especially when you lose someone, like, they're so young, a lot of the time you do more damage by not mourning them and getting, like, stuck and not, like, honoring their lives because you keep them here.
Right.
So I think it's, I think when people, like, open foundations and, like, do good in the memory of their child, or, like, you know, have some kind of, like, even private tradition that, like, yes, I'm honoring you, here you are, you were real, you did exist. But we can't, like, your child doesn't want you to hold on to that either. They obviously were not meant to live a full, full life. Like, who's to say what a full, like,
Right.
maybe we're being tortured because we're still here.
Yeah, I always say that too.
Yeah. Because whenever, like, I've done readings and, like, I've had people who either, like, lost children that were still in the womb or, like, were, I think the oldest I've ever had was, like, 6 years old. They're always, like, the most, like, precious, like, sparkling, like, I don't want to say, like, I love to interact with them, but they're just innocent. And they're, like, the most pure energy. So don't, like, hold that pure energy hostage. Like, let it go and do whatever it's meant to do. Because obviously it wasn't meant for the physical world.
Right, right.
Yeah.
I agree. Because, you know, when I see some of these stories, I'm like, and I'm sure also, I don't know if you heard, but I always say I'm terrified to bring kids into this world.
I'm terrified to bring kids into the world.
Because it's just, it's so much.
And, like, I say that a lot, and my mom's like, no, like, I want my own, like, grandbaby, but I'm like, no, there's so many babies out here that are suffering, and you, like,
Yes.
I want to be their mommy. I'm a little bit of pansy. I don't know if I can do childbirth.
I see it on TV sometimes,
like,
and I'm like, wow.
what is
but
the
then
thought?
I'm like, yeah,
If I can do that and not ruin anything, I'm good with that. But, but I don't know how I feel about bringing, like, kids that aren't already, like, on the earth into the world.
Yeah.
I know, I go, like, back and forth, like, I'm like, I'll be sick for a few months, and then I'm gonna, like, need new clothes, and, like, things are gonna stretch, and, like, then I have to go through pain, like, can't I just adopt?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then for me, I think is, you know, just more of having, when my kid go to school, because of the stuff that goes on in school now. When we was in school, like, I think the first time everyone knew about it while we was in school was Columbine.
I was born 1994.
Oh.
Yeah.
So you wasn't.
But, like, I
okay.
grew up in a post-Columbine, like, world, and then I was in first grade when I was supposed to be in second grade, though, but I was in first grade when 9/11 happened, and, like, my mom was just like, something bad happened. The worst thing I could think of at that time was a car accident. I had no idea people would, like, hijack airplanes and, like, kill thousands and thousands of people. But, like, then I grew up in a post 9/11 world, and, like, all I've ever known is, like, to be afraid.
Yeah. That's what's, you know, what terrifies me, because I'm like, it's too much going on. People are divided. Everybody's angry at
Everyone's
each other.
angry.
And I'm like, sometimes I just want to step back from everything, but where do I go? Because for me, I'm, like I said before on my show, I'm in investment banking. So they have TVs and everything is political. When I stretch, the first thing I see is, and I'm like, I want to escape. But then when I go outside, then you hear people arguing and fussing, and then you know, people, excuse me, do you have $1? And I'm like, okay. So it's like, I just need some time.
Peace. Upstate New York.
That's why I said when I was up there, I loved it.
It's quiet.
For that reason.
Yeah.
So, for you, you know, did you lose friends when you came out and said that you had those abilities? Because people will tend to shy away from that.
It's interesting. So I've definitely had people be like, oh, okay, you know? And then I've had people who I did not even expect to all of a sudden, like, want to be my friend. And, like, I started to, like, get messages from, like, people I went to high school with. They're like, I heard you're a medium. Like, could you give me a reading? And, like, sometimes people will follow me who, like, I'm like, who is that? And I'll remember them from high school. And I'm like, I bet, like, I've given a few readings to a few people I've known in high school. And I'm like, I bet this is why you're following me.
Right.
I don't have, like, a lot of friends. And that's a personal choice.
Yep.
I'm very selective about who I let.
Yes.
Like, I'll, like, literally will say to you, like, you're in the inner circle now.
Oh, thank you.
You know, like, you're in the inner circle
Thank
now.
you.
That's, like, does not happen a lot.
Right.
Because, like,
You don't know
who can you trust
anymore. People are after you because of they see you coming up,
Yes.
or you're up there, or you have something that they want. They're trying to get close to it.
yeah.
And it's like, for me, especially trying to get to the level in which I'm trying to reach, I find myself more slipping back into myself.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. Because really, I don't know who to trust.
No.
I don't. And it makes me sad sometimes. Sometimes I feel like that girl back in high school.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, I'm always like, I'm my own best friend.
Yes.
I have
Me, myself,
best
and
friends,
I.
but I'm definitely, a lot of the times I'm doing things, I'm like, it's me, myself, and I.
yes.
You know? I'm like, I'm so cool.
Yeah. Give me 5.
I'm like, well, if I'm gonna be my own best friend, like, I'm pretty cool.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
And that was one thing my mother always taught me, too.
Moms are the best, by the way.
Yes.
Yes.
I love her. If I didn't have her, you know, I wouldn't be sitting here now, because there were times where I'm like, I just want to give up, I'm tired. And she's like, no, you have to keep going, because I want you to be the best that you could be, but not only for me, but for yourself, because I know you could do it.
Yeah.
And that
Yeah.
hug, like, those hugs.
Those hugs, right? Those mom hugs.
And those are the ones that are right there by you.
Yep.
They're like, I got you, baby
Got you.
girl. Come
Yep.
on. So,
Be better than me. You know?
so
Yep.
you know, I definitely commend you on everything that you're doing, because, especially coming out saying you're a psychic.
I mean, like, the woo-woo. No one wants to, like, be around the woo-woo.
Speaking, like, with brands that you work with, how do they feel about it?
We'll find out, because I just started coming out with this. I was just like, I gotta start, like, really building my, like, the niche, because, like, if this failed and nobody wants to work with me, I gotta be able, I mean, thankfully, like, we're kind of, like, getting into like, I don't want to say new age, because I don't feel like this is new. Like, I feel like every now and then it comes back around, but, like,
Right.
I feel like millennials, I hate that word, but, like, millennials are, like, more open to, like, understanding, like, that there is another side, and, like, more, like, crystals, and, like, having a faith base, like, as much as you want to talk, like, if you go on,
We
like,
need a faith
astrology
base.
and stuff,
Yeah.
like, I feel like it's really popular, you know, but I'm like, if I can, like, not cash in on this, but, like, get in and be like, yes, it's real, like, I'm living proof, like,
Right.
yeah.
Because I saw where you mentioned that, where you wanted to incorporate spirituality with lifestyle. I believe
Yeah.
is. Yeah.
Yeah, and I feel like it's really important.
Yes. Yes.
It's having something for yourself, having a space for yourself. It has nothing, you know, at the most basic value.
Right.
Having your own space and being able to be like, this is me like meditating and taking time for myself. This is like, I can go into like a whole spiel here, but I won't. But like,
feel free, because the
like,
mic is yours.
the mic. All right. Like, once you like start to like meditate and like realize that like we are all one collective mind, and you start to see the repetitions in the world, and like you start to allow yourself to like receive the messages, like you do feel better, because why should we deny like what we came from? And like I've said this, like I did the interview with Natasha Nurse, and I said, you know, energy cannot be destroyed.
Right.
So it was here before, where it's here now, it's going to be continue to be
Yes.
here. So you have to nurture what's been here the longest,
Right.
which is your energy.
Yes.
You know,
'Cause that's
what you're
your
putting out.
impression is.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like you didn't say anything to me. The first thing I got was your energy, and I was like, okay, we're gonna be good. Or if not, be like, you know.
She does that
Yeah.
all the time. You know, she'll come across, because also my grandmother used to own a nightclub, and my
Ooh,
mother,
I like her.
and my mom would also she would be the bartender and she did security.
And DJ.
And
Ooh,
I
DJ.
remember she would tell some of the stories to me of, you know, being a security guard, and some people would walk up to her and she's like, whoa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't like go out a lot for that reason. And then you got people like drinking and like letting like their walls down, and like their energies are like flowing, and you will see the best of people and you will see the absolute worst of people. And like I feel like I need to take like 3 salt scrub showers like to cleanse myself after that, and even that's not enough.
Their energy can attach to you like that?
Easily.
Oh, so you don't have to like
You don't have to touch them or anything.
I don't have to touch them or
their
anything. Presence.
Oh.
Time they get, I would say, within your field, you could.
That's
feel
what I was saying
that
about like
energy.
the inner circle. Like once I like let you, like I'm letting you in. You're in my circle now. Like I'm picking up what you're putting down, and if I'm not picking up, it's like I'm not gonna pick that up. So like stay away.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh. So being that you said that, when, for example, some people that started following you in high school, were you able to say, you know what, no, you're not
Like friends or like spirits?
friends? Friends, because of like, you know, for example, someone may have.
I don't think I have any friends from high school.
Okay, that was pretty much
Just about it.
Okay.
I've pretty much. My best friend, who I met when I was in high school because she was dating someone I had known since my childhood. We even like didn't go to high school together, but we're like I'm the moon, like she's the moon and I'm the sun, and like we were just like soul sisters.
Yes.
Like we met each other, and I was like, I was the best, you know, maid of honor at her wedding, and like I literally like I don't have a sister. This is the closest I'll ever get, and I feel robbed that I don't have a sister. So I hold on to her, and then like Faith Costa, she's another person like.
The beautiful Faith.
Like I was just like, all right, we're done. Like that's it. So those are like my 2 like closest, like some of my closest friends.
Right.
I have a few like people that I'm like close to now. Like I'll let myself, but like also like being a boss babe is really hard, and people don't take. I'm not ignoring you. I'm busy.
Yes.
Like I'm busy on a level that you do not understand. Busy.
Yes.
Right now, and like I'm planning to move to New York City, and like I don't know what's gonna happen.
You know what? Like we're talking now. You just have to go with.
I just go with it.
Yeah.
And like not everyone's gonna like you, and not everyone's and some people who like you now aren't gonna like you for a little while and will like you again. I've lost a lot of friendships, and there's like friendships that I wish I hadn't lost, but I did.
And I always say if the friendship was lost, they was only in your life for a
And like
season
I feel
before.
my mom was like, we were just talking about that, and she was like, I really do believe that there are people that are supposed to be in your life, shine bright, like, but then like their light has to dim. And sometimes those are the best relationships though, because you like learn the most from them, and it's like a time in the sun, and then it's over.
I have learned so much from people, especially starting my clothing line and being in radio and everything. And I would try my hardest. Those friends that I did have before everything, I would try to hold on to them. But then it comes a point where it's like, okay, if it didn't work, it didn't work.
And like I have people reach out, and like I feel bad, be like, oh yeah, I'll let you know, but like I'm not gonna let you know.
Yeah.
I'm just being nice because I don't want to like hurt your feelings. I'm not gonna let you know.
And you don't want bad blood.
No, I don't want bad. Like I'm just not like any. I'm like don't not like you.
Right.
I'm just not there anymore.
There's nothing wrong with that. You're growing.
I'm growing, and I'm not saying I'm better than you. I'm just growing. My flower is just growing a different way than yours, and we just can't grow in the same soil. You know, because you know, like cactuses grow in like whatever type of soil. Orchids grow in like their moss. Some flowers grow in the water. Like all our flowers aren't meant to grow together.
I agree.
It happens.
I agree. Now, I want to switch gears a little bit.
Okay.
I'm gonna slip out.
Okay.
Mama's gonna leave.
Thank you. Oh, someone, Wendy. Oh, hi, Wendy. She said, love hearing this. My 2 girls are both adopted.
Yes.
Hi, Wendy. Thanks for joining.
That's so exciting.
So, I want to talk more about now your brand.
Okay.
Because when you submitted yourself, you was like building it because you have a website, right?
I'm launching.
Okay.
I like launched, and then I was like, and then I like dropped back, and like.
Is this a revamp period?
Well, don't call it a comeback. I literally have like my like ideas for my first post like written down, and one of them was like, "Don't call it a comeback," or like, "Let me reintroduce myself." Yeah, it's like I've been working on it for so long. Like I really should just pull the trigger, but like this is it.
Right.
Like style and spirituality. Like this is where we are now. Yeah, so I haven't done a whole lot for a while, but like I really needed to like see where the industry was going for a minute, because I was like, what is going on? And then, you know, get to, like I said, I needed to get to know myself, and like now I feel like I'm at full capacity. I'm ready to rock and roll. But like, yeah. And like how do I present what I'm like, the content I'm trying to create at the level I want it to be, because I know, you know, like perfectionism, which is like a blessing and a curse.
Yes.
So it's been a lot of like, it's not perfect. Well, it's never going to be perfect. So yeah, I'm relaunching. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to use some of these photos to like look so official. Yeah. But like I'm not with Scorch. I'm not like tied down to anything right now. Like I'm not with Scorch. I'm not with any magazines.
You're free.
I'm free for the first time like ever. So I'm just like, what's gonna happen? Yeah. So I'm like just trying to like ride the wave of not having a commitment. But like
I like that.
Obviously I like my 10-year relationship, and like going with Scorch like right away, like I'm a commitment. I love commitment. So like me trying to be like free and like just do it and see what happens and not have every single like second of every single day planned, very hard for me.
Really?
Yeah. I like, because I feel like it goes back to like not like with so much like traumatic events happening. I feel like for a long time I try to be in control of what I could be in control of, because I didn't know what was like gonna happen next. So that's where I feel like that comes from, and like trying to work on it. But like let it be, and like literally like one of my mantras is like, it'll be what it'll be, or like I am, and just like letting myself flow. Which like, yeah. Like I said, if this did not happen to me, I'd be a skeptic.
But
yeah.
I understand what you're saying. Like you're free and everything.
Yeah.
But you have a lot of brands that you work with.
I have worked with a lot of brands. Yeah.
Right. So, if you don't mind, I want to pull up and read some of the brands.
Ooh.
Is it okay?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Let me pull it up.
I've been busy. I was busy for a hot minute there. When I'm like I said, like when I make my press kit, or like I watch videos of myself, I'm like, who are you?
I love your press kit, by the way. You worked with the Avenue.
Yes.
Swimsuits for All.
That was one of my most favorite photo shoots. Was for my Swimsuits for All photo shoot, when I did the like Terr and this.
I saw one of you in a bathing suit.
Yes.
I was like, yeah, okay.
I did a whole spread for Scorch with like a bunch of my friends, and it was like the body positive crew and stuff. Yeah.
Right. Were you always comfortable with being in a bikini, or you
no? I'm like kind of conservative when it comes to like clothing. So I was like, oh my god, like I'm gonna show my body. And then like I'm plus size, so I'm like, ooh, I'm gonna show all my body. Like watch out. I mean, I look totally comfortable in the photos. I'm like, what is that? And I did like I know you're gonna read the list, but like when I did the Curvy Couture Intimates.
That's the one you did a video on too.
Yes.
Yes. I
the
saw that.
Scandal. I thought. I was like.
Okay.
It's like me and my friend Alex. I was like, she's like, just pretend. I'm just like, okay.
I actually loved it.
It's one of my favorites.
I think a lot of young women need to see that, you know. That
video has almost over 1 million views on YouTube, so I'm stuck with it.
But I loved it, because I said, I wish, you know, for me coming up, I would have had some of these things to look forward to, because it wasn't much of that. Well, to me, it really wasn't much out there, period. So I loved seeing that. I was like, look at that. And you were sitting up there.
It's like, yes.
It was great. I see also you have Yona, New York.
Yes, that was fun. I did a blog post.
What is that, 1160?
Yes.
Feminine Funk.
Yeah, the t-shirts. Do you know those t-shirts?
I seen them. Yes.
They're good. They're comfy.
I love t-shirts. I love
yes.
Love it. What else you have? Laurelette.
Laurelette was like the Avenue's like little sister brand that they
Mhm.
launched for a while there.
Mhm.
I don't know. Do they still have it?
I haven't heard
I
of
haven't
it.
think of.
I haven't heard of it. I don't think so.
I don't know if it was as much as they wanted it to be.
Because
It was cute.
I like Avenue.
I like the Avenue a
Yeah.
lot. Yeah.
You done anything with Ashley Stewart?
No, and I have always like I feel like I
love
should have
Ashley
at this
Stewart.
point.
Mm-hmm.
And like I constantly see like the modeling and like all these different things. I'm like, be the next Ashley Stewart. I'm like, ooh, I should apply, and I never do.
I love Ashley Stewart.
I'll reach out. Go
The
give me a
first
connection.
I love walking in that store. I remember when they first came out, and I remember walking in, and I was like, I don't know. So, like, maybe about a couple of years after, I went back and I saw, like, how they revamped.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, I love the color schemes that they use, the fabric
The
that
fabrics.
they use. The price, I like the price. The jeans
Yeah.
also. I also love Lane Bryant.
Lane Bryant.
And I also like independent designers also, like
Indie, yeah.
up and coming
Yeah.
collections and everything. Like there's one I follow called She Curvy, Instagram.
I feel like I know what you're talking
Mhm.
about.
Mhm.
Yes.
I also like Monique C.
Yes.
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 I love Monique C. I love, what is the other one that's out in Los Angeles? They have a store, Chic and Curvy.
Chic and Curvy. Yeah.
I love a lot of those online stores. And
Do you like Prem?
yes, I love.
Talk about a boss
Yes.
suit out there. Yes.
I love seeing how, you know, the plus size industry has,
Yes.
blown
Coming
up.
up. Yeah.
and to see people like Faith Costa and Nina Roman and people
Yes.
like that.
Nina. Yes. The other Nina. Yes.
I love seeing, you know, how they're opening those doors and walking in.
Yeah.
And you like, and I remember when I first met Faith, and I remember Natasha told me, I want you to meet someone named Faith Costa, because at the time I was doing my clothing line, trying
Yeah.
to bring up my clothing line. And she was like, her name is Faith Costa, I want you to meet her.
Mhm.
So we was at the Martini Factory, hello Janet and Kim, and Faith walks in, and she's just happy and bubbly.
Yes.
And I'm like, that's why your name is Faith. I can see.
Yes.
She fits it. Like, just happy and bubbly. And right off the bat, I was like, oh, give me a hug.
Yes. You're just like, give me some of that.
And then
Yes.
I was like, oh, I love this girl. Like, from reading your story and watching your video, and then Natasha telling me about you, I said, I don't know her
I'm gonna have to give
personally.
Natasha a phone call and be like, thank you so much, because it's one of the greatest afternoons I've had in a long time.
And, you know, she telling me about you, and I'm like, I love people who are people, and they love other people.
Yeah, like I'm just like you're just a person to me.
Mm.
Like you're a great person,
Mhm.
like you're like a trophy
Oh,
person,
thank
but like
you.
you're just. It just feels like it's meant. Do
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah.
Like yeah, like you fit right into the puzzle piece.
Oh, thank
That's how I feel
you.
about Natasha. Like I haven't
Mhm.
talked to her in a while,
Mhm.
but like I constantly see her out there doing things. I'm like, you inspire me. Like she doesn't know it because I don't tell her, but like
Mhm.
every day, you inspire me
Right.
out there with the hustle.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
The hustle is alive and well in this room
Yes.
right now.
Listen. It's a lot, and I think, you know, I love having a platform where I could share stories like your story and the individuals who I had on. I could share their stories, but I think what I love most about it is just interacting
Yeah.
with the people, because I also, from the things that I talk about on my previous shows, being in corporate America, I have to be a certain way
Mhm.
for a certain amount of time, and I feel like I can't be myself. So when I'm doing something I enjoy and I'm around people who's like me, I'm like, hi.
Yeah. Isn't it the best, like, when you get to be, like, your full self?
Yes.
Like, I hate working
Yes.
because, like, I can only be, like, at max 26%.
Right.
Nothing
Yes.
more. Like, you can't handle anymore.
Right. Yes.
And, like, they, like, have, like, coworkers, like, try to add you on Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, it takes a very special
Mm-hmm.
coworker to
Yeah.
me, like, let you in.
Right.
Because I'm not going to let you in.
I
You know
agree,
exactly, yes.
Mhm,
Yeah.
Definitely. This conversation has been so enlightening to me on so many different levels. And when it has.
Oh, cry.
It really, really has. I want to know what's next for you.
I'll let you know.
Because I know you're
Yeah.
redoing your brand and everything.
Yeah.
Which are some beautiful pictures that's in your press kit also. I love
I'm
those.
like, should I model? Should I do this? Should I do that? Like, I feel like right now, like, the world is my world is my oyster. Is that the
Yes,
saying?
enjoy it.
Like this right now, I'm like really digging it.
Yes.
Like,
Really?
yes.
Oh.
Do you think I'm doing a good enough job? I feel
Yes.
very comfortable.
Yes. He have slots open.
My
That's cool.
my dad was a radio before
Really?
he was a police officer,
Uh-huh.
he was a radio DJ.
Really?
Yes. And like this
Oh.
feels like very natural
Mhm.
to me. And I
Mhm.
think he's going to be pretty proud. Like, Scott Tracy, how you doing?
Hi,
I
Scott Tracy.
I wish
Hi.
I wish he would have stayed in radio because I
Mhm.
probably could have just
Yeah,
how
stay
cute would have been
ready.
a father-daughter
Radio
classic
show.
rock radio morning show
Yeah.
would have been.
Yes.
Dad, you missed out.
I know Cruz had a show with his kids at one point.
So cool.
It was cute, and you know, that was one thing too that I wanted to ask you about, like legacy and impressions.
Yeah.
What impressions do you want to leave, like on Earth, like
On Earth.
when you not so much on Earth, but when you interact with people?
What I want people to. Oh, I hate her. No. I want people to be like, oh, I met this girl. I don't even need to remember my name, and like she made me feel good about
Mhm.
myself, or feel like
Right.
I could do anything, or like she felt so good about. Like I used to work in a nursing home,
Mhm.
and my mom worked there too. And
Really? You
yeah,
worked in
she
a
was a
nursing
nurse.
home?
Yes, I worked in a nursing home, and that was like spiritual boot camp.
Mhm.
That's another whole other story. You want to talk about learning, like about like, whew. But so my mom was a nurse there, and I worked in the activities department.
Mhm.
And I left to work at a different job.
Right.
And my mom was still a nurse there, and like one of the residents stopped her, and she was like a larger lady, and she
Mhm.
stopped her, and she's just like, I wish when I was young, like your daughter is, that I had the confidence to wear the clothes that she was wearing, and to just have fun and have the because like old people are mean, and like they are so mean. And she was like, she used to have like, I would obviously not gonna be mean to old people, but I had like a good comeback
Right.
to them, you
Mhm.
know. So, and she was like, I just wish I had that confidence, like
Right.
when I was growing up.
Right.
And this is an old woman. I like
Mhm.
don't even know if she's still alive.
Aw.
But like, you know what I'm saying? Like, but I
Yeah.
made her feel like inspired in her old age.
Yes.
So if I can do that to like almost every person, not everyone's gonna like you. That's one thing my mom always told me.
Yeah.
And she like, if I would come
Yeah.
home and be like, they're like this to me, blah blah blah. And she's like, well, guess what, Terry? Not everyone's gonna like you.
Yep. Exactly. And I tried to live with that for a long
It's
time.
hard.
It is.
I want
It
everyone to
is.
like me. I want everyone to be my best friend,
Right.
but they're not going to be.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Because when I first got into banking, and
Oof.
before I got into banking, I was always this happy-go-lucky girl.
Mhm.
And then I started interacting with people within the banking industry, and I don't want to say most, but a good amount of them aren't the nicest people.
No.
So it took a lot for me to get used to their personality.
Yeah.
And my mom told me, she was like, everybody is not gonna like you, and you're not in an industry where everyone is gonna be on the same level. Everyone is after money.
Money.
There's politics involved in that. And she was like, so everyone is not gonna like you for different reasons. And she
Mhm.
was like, you have to keep pushing. You
Yeah.
can't let that stop you.
Can't stop it.
So I definitely agree with that. That's why for me, I love doing, like I said, radio and having my own clothing
Yeah.
line, because
It's all
fun.
you.
Yes.
Yes.
I get to be Nina Monique.
Yes. Like I get to be Terr Cacilia. Like that's not my real name, but I get to be her
Yeah.
right now. I love her.
Yes.
She's my like this morning I was getting ready. I'm like, all right, Terr is here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm who I
Yep.
am right now.
Yep.
Yep.
You get to build those alter egos.
Yes.
I learned to be
Sasha Fierce.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. I have to be Nina Spain at work, but when I'm not at work, I get to be Nina Monique.
Yes.
So I love it.
I know.
I love it.
Yes. I feel you. I feel you so much. It kills me.
Have you done any like speaking engagements? Because I
So that's one of my. So I did 2016. I'm trying to think about career here, about things I've done. I had come up with this brand that I wanted to launch, was the Plus Side Party. And it wasn't about your jean size, it's about how positive your attitude is, which I have like the Facebook page. I haven't done much with it because that's right after I had that in April. I did this whole story I'm about to tell you. And May is when I was in my car accident.
Okay.
So like that was out the window. But I did a speaking engagement at a very prestigious college, Marist College, upstate New York. It's a big deal. And I did this whole pitch in front of businessmen to like get money from them, right? Yes, you could go to Albany and everything, right? So anyways, I put my whole pitch kit together and they moved me because it's going to be a website and an app. So they moved me from services, because I was going to provide like services for empowering women, and they moved me into technology and like app development, right? So I give this whole pitch to these I think it was 5 or 6 businessmen, and they literally, one of them was practically in tears. He's like, I want my daughters to hear this. And they could not, they wanted to put me in first place, and they couldn't because they didn't think that I was in the right category. They call me the next Oprah.
Yes.
He's like, this is one of them. I got business cards afterwards. They're like, you need to do speaking engagements. This was incredible. And they literally argued with the people to have me go and repitch in the other category. They wouldn't let me, but they were mad. Men.
Right.
Middle-aged white men were fighting for me to go and pitch this idea because they thought it was so important.
Right.
So, and I was so nervous before, and my mom was there, and she was like, Terry, that was incredible. And I get so nervous before, in the car. I was like,
that's natural.
You watch High School Musical, or were you? No.
High school, I really don't even watch TV.
Yeah, when I was in High School Musical, I watched High School Musical in elementary school, and they're before the shows or whatever. I had to do that in the car before this. I was nervous, but I get here and it's fine, and I love it. I'm like, oh yeah, I love this. Yeah, speaking engagements.
I was the same way. I think being in banking, that pulled me out of being scared to stand up and speak in front of people.
Yeah.
Because now I love doing speaking engagements and being able to tell my story, like you said, to try and help other women and people in general. I love doing it.
Yeah.
It's so much fun because when you, like you said, when you get that reaction from people who you think wouldn't give you the reaction, those are the ones that push for you, and you're like, this is great. Meanwhile, you're like, oh my God, I'm scared.
I'm terrified. Look, I used to, we were talking about before, I was raised Roman Catholic, and used to, when the Sunday school classes would get to do, the day at church, and they would get to read, the Bible or whatever. I remember one time I, puked honeycomb, because I was so nervous to read, three words, praise be God. And I was I couldn't even, before at my friend's house, I slept over, I was, so scared. Now, I would be praise Jesus!
Yes.
Out there. But, back then, I was a kid, my dad was Terry, when I was 8th grade and bullying had just started, he was maybe you need to be the funny fat girl for a little while. And he did not mean that in a malicious way.
Right.
But him saying that, I started to when I did interact with people, I wanted to be the funny fat girl because they couldn't make fun of me if I was making them laugh.
Right. Yeah. So it was a decoy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they still bullied me, but some of them bullied me a little less because I did make them laugh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you were being bullied, have some of those bullies resurfaced to apologize?
I have people I never thought I would have follow me on Instagram.
That's normally how it goes, because they see you doing.
They see me. I'm I see you, and I'm gonna let you follow me. Because I could be
Exactly.
Nope. I want you to see this.
When I was, I'm going to say up until I was about 30, I actually learned to come to terms. I can't change the past.
Nope.
People will be people. And it used to break me down when people would say things about me, but now I'm if I didn't go through that, I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing now.
Thank you for being so totally cruel to me, because now my life is awesome.
Exactly, because now it's I can't like when people say negative things, you can't like. There's no room for to get mad or upset about it, because it's like you was being prepared to expect. Is the word expect, but you was being prepared for what you're doing now. So when people say negative things, it don't hit you hard.
No.
Because we heard it.
It rolls off like a duck. The water rolls right off my back. I don't care.
Exactly.
It's like hot. Like sometimes I like to read negative comments because like how creative. If you're gonna insult me, like please be creative. You know?
Yeah.
Because like I'm like 10 points for effort. You know, you
Yeah.
tried to hurt me.
Right.
Yeah.
And then sometimes the comments be misspelled.
Yes.
Or
I'm like. Yeah, and then there's like the most basic, like if you're gonna insult me, please spell it right.
Exactly.
At least spell it right. Don't even your grammar doesn't even have to be right. Your just your spelling.
Oh, I just be amazed at some of the things that people leave on other people's pages, because I'm like, you actually took time out your day to be negative to somebody.
And what if you took that time to be positive? Just
Exactly.
that time, just a little bit of time.
Yep.
Why are you so hateful?
Like my mother always say, when you're evil, you get results quicker, and when you do good,
Sometimes, like, no, I'm sure sometimes you have the same moments that I do. Be like, well, I should just do that. Like something that's questionable. Like, no, that's evil, but like it's questionable.
Right.
Because I know I'm gonna get a reaction. I know
Yeah.
I'm gonna get results. It's gonna be so much easier than all this work I'm doing right now. But then you're like, no, your moral compass is like, due north, and you're like, fine, I won't. Yeah.
Exactly. And sometimes when I follow celebrities, like for example, I love Cardi B. I love
Cardi B.
I love her. And when people leave negative comments under her page and she responds, I'm like, it is. And then at the same time, I'm like, Cardi,
she should not pay mind to them.
Exactly.
At all. She should not even.
Exactly.
I mean, but like.
Her comments sometimes.
But sometimes, like her, like she makes it. You know what? She's probably making their day.
Yes.
At this point, it's like a game for her. I love her. Did you see her new blue hair?
Yes.
Oh yes.
Yes. I think she's fierce.
Me too. And I don't know. Someone said something about her the other day. I just near jumped down their throat. I was like, "What'd you talk about my Puerto Rican princess like that? Don't you talk about her like that?"
I think she's really cool, and when she responds, sometimes I just be like, you don't even have to, because you started at somewhere where a lot of people say she, being a stripper, and everything, where they say, oh, that's where you're gonna stay or whatever. She got on TV. She started putting out her music. Everybody loved her. She married. She's married.
Baby. She has a baby.
Moved. Like, you don't have to respond.
She's rich, and she didn't have to buy a thing for her baby, so she's still rich.
Yes, and I'm like, she don't even have to bother.
Nope.
So I definitely, big shout out to Miss Cardi B. Hi, Cardi.
A true inspiration.
So, getting back to your brand,
yeah,
because I like talking about stuff like this.
You're a businesswoman.
Yes.
That's why.
And I just love to hear like the work that people put into building their empire.
Yeah.
So, when you talk about being with Scorch, and you were still in high school, how did you balance being at Scorch to, taking care of your grades at school to having a personal life?
I think that's like junior, senior year is about the time when I started to realize like I don't really care about having a personal life to a point. Like I said, I have very selective. Even then, I was like selective on my friend group. I did like I went to the high school football games. Like I did that, but like at the same time, I wasn't trying to impress a boy. I had a boyfriend.
Yeah.
So like that pressure was off, and I was going to school for fashion design and merchandising. So I was able to like roll over some of the stuff I did for Scorch into like my assignments for fashion design and merchandising, and then basically I did like the math there was like measuring for clothing and like calculating how you would pay for this or that or the other thing. So that was my math, and like my science was like the study of fabrics and all that stuff. So I was getting good grades in like math and science and like my like technical school, and then all I had to do was say government, and I love to argue, so I took government. I was great. Participation in government, we call it PIG in school. I was good. I was to fight, and like I did every opportunity to write like for extra credit because I wasn't sure, so I would do the extra credit projects. I love to argue. It was fine. I would argue my point.
You on like a debate team or anything?
So I was the president of my LGBTQIA, all the letters club, which was also rolled into our debate club, which was very small at my school. So we did that. It was also part of our multi-flavor club because I went to like a really small school. So like multi-flavor was like all the different cultures. So we like all incorporated because we needed to know how to talk about and like have a debate, not an argument, with people about culture, about sexuality, about like all of that. So that was great. That was awesome. That was a great experience for me. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Because it's funny how, you see, like I said, when you're young and you're going through all of this, you see now where everything falls into your
place.
life. Because I would have to think that, being an influencer and building your brand, you do have to speak up for yourself and talk about what you want, what you don't want, what you want to put out, what you don't want to put out.
Yeah.
And being a model also, where people will try and force you to do something you don't
I like say no.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which like at first there was a lot of yes, but like everyone's like, oh, the power of yes. No. The power of no. Like you say no, like no, I don't want to work with you. No, I'm not going to do that. No, this is how we're going to do things. Ooh, you think you bad now.
But
yeah.
Again, like that, having to speak up for yourself. And you was doing that in high school.
In high school.
With your
Yeah.
And then wearing many hats at Scorch because you said you had to be an editor.
Yeah, and I was like learning like different like how to like kind of manage a really small team and like I put a couple issues out when I was there. Hard. Getting people to do things on time. No. No. People don't understand like a deadline is a deadline.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially when you're putting out a publication.
Yeah, and if my path leads me back to like Scorch or any like publication, I'll do it 10 times better now because I was been there, I've done that, I'm ready to do it again.
Would that be something you want to consider for yourself?
Yeah. Oh, I've had a few people either say I should have my own magazine or I should pitch to be like at a higher position at like different like editorials or publications or whatever. I've thought about having my own magazine. Do I think magazines are like relevant anymore?
I don't.
I feel like we need to I think if I'm gonna do a magazine, it's gonna be rethought and it's not gonna be a magazine. It would be some kind of publication, but it would be different, which is kind of what I was trying to get at with like the Plus Side Party, which was like content, it's kind of like a bustle, kind of like a Refinery 29, you know what I'm like. They're kind of where I think things are going and where they should go.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
I play with different ideas.
And I personally think that would be good for you.
Yeah.
Like, to have your own magazine because of the content. I could just see all the wonderful content that could go
I feel like once, like, tercacilia.com launches, right? Whatever. We're doing that for a hot minute. I can see myself launching, like, a separate lifestyle off of it, kind of like Gwyneth Paltrow's Goop. Like it's Gwyneth Paltrow, but it's Goop and it's all her writers and stuff like that. I can see something like that. Like, let's just Oprah this bitch.
Yeah.
Like that is like the true inspiration. Talk show, radio, podcasts, like wear all the hats.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what, because I see so many things for you because your personality.
Thank you.
The things that you talk about, what you're about. And I see you going very, very far because you already accomplished a lot.
I wrote future multimillionaire on my graduation cap. You best believe that will be true. I put that into existence.
Yes.
That will be true.
Yes.
I won't tell you when. I told Zachary that one day he will walk through the door of like wherever we're living. I'm just gonna put on Lil Wayne, a million, and like that's when he will know I have reached $1,001.
Oh.
Because it can't be $1 million, it has to be $1,001.
Oh yeah.
Even if I have to get like quarters out of the car. Like we got $1,001 here. And that's how he will know.
That's pretty much an affirmation for yourself.
Yeah.
Are you big on like affirmation? Do you come up with them every day?
Oh my god, all the time.
Yeah.
And I have like my board
Your
and like my
board.
vision board, which like I need to like kind of I haven't done it in a little
that.
while, but I'm like, looking at it. I'm like, they're relevant, but they're not completely relevant, you know? And like in my mind, like when I go to sleep at night, if I'm not like super like spirit radio waves that night, I like put like little scenarios in my head of like being rich or like on a book tour or like I have this reoccurring dream about being on a book tour and reading a book, like reading it like an expert out of a book, and like I can see the crowd, I know what I'm wearing, I can look off to the side and see where I'm gonna do a book signing, and like I've had this dream multiple times, and like every time I have it, it's more vivid.
Yeah, because I would think that means it's coming into play.
It's coming. That's what I mean. Like every time I have it, it's like a little more clear. I'm like, oh, this is gonna, and like I feel books like inside of me.
Oh.
Yeah, like I'm like carrying them. I'm gonna have them one day. Not ready yet. Yeah.
I think affirmations are very important.
I think they're crucial.
It helps you get through the day.
It's like goal setting, which I like. I said I like to plan like every second of every day. So like I feel like goal setting, like there should be a class in like school that teaches you how to like run a household, set goals for yourself financially and personally and professionally. Like there should be like how to write a check.
Courses about life.
Courses of life.
Yes.
COL. Course of life. We have PIG 8th period. Courses of life.
That's
Ninth
how
period.
I feel. Like, you know, books are very important.
How are you going to manage your budget? Ooh, tires down.
Exactly.
Like, how you, like, they should have that.
I agree. I totally agree. It, you know, it's like, I feel, especially now when I hear of people who have kids, and they have all these different tests that they have to pass in order to get to the next grade. And I'm like, okay, that's fine, but what about life?
Do I drink this? Is it expired? Like, you need to know these things. No one teaches you that.
Exactly. Like, it's, book smart is very important, but also you need common sense, and you have to know how to survive out there.
You need to know how to not kill yourself or your kids.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's just, I think so many things just have to be restructured. Will it ever happen? I don't know.
No.
That's why, you know, being a parent is more than, you know, buying them things and things like that. You have to be able to teach them the keys of life.
Yeah.
So I think
that's a lot of keys.
Reason. Yes. That's why, like, I'm
hesitant.
Another reason why I'm hesitant to have kids, you know, because I'm like, that's a lot of work.
And like, if it is meant to be,
it'll
happen.
It will happen.
If it's not meant to be, don't like. And like, I feel like maybe you're not meant to like have kids, but maybe you're meant to like inspire kids.
Yeah.
Like maybe you're meant to have like thousands of kids because you like open a school or you volunteer to school or you know what, and those are still your kids.
Yes, like Oprah did.
Yeah.
Yep. I remember she aired that on OWN, I think it was, where she was doing the admissions process. And I remember she said, I don't have kids because I'm taking care of kids. Exactly.
Yeah.
But she considered them her kids.
Yeah.
So I definitely understand that part. My mom wanted to have a whole bunch of kids, and I wanted to have a bunch of kids at one point because I said I'm the only child.
Yeah.
And I want my kitchen table and my dining room table to be filled. My husband on one end and I'm on the other, and it's about maybe 3 kids on each side. Yeah. I'm 36 now. That ain't gonna happen. That ain't gonna happen. Maybe I have one when the time comes.
Well, not like science.
Right.
Like you're young.
I'm getting ready to be 37 next month, so ain't gonna be no.
So got
6
like
kids.
30 years. I don't think you want to do that.
No.
They do some crazy stuff with eggs. I don't know.
Yes, girl.
I'm like
science. Science is crazy.
Yeah. It kind of scares me, honestly.
Yes.
A little bit.
Yes.
Just a little bit.
Because it's like they doing too much now. Like they go
I know. It's like
further and
further and further. I don't like it.
You know, I always laugh at some of the things they do, and I'm one where my mind it goes. Like the first time I saw the movie The Purge, I said I could see that happening in real life. And then I remember when I was little, I was watching Night of the Living Dead, and I said I could see that happening
in
too,
real life.
because we don't know what half of these scientists or whatever
We're working
is doing.
on.
So
We don't know.
I'm like, I don't put my mind past nothing. Anything
Nope.
could happen. Any freaking thing could happen, and we won't be prepared.
Nope.
Because we don't believe. So, yep. So, we got 5 minutes left.
5 minutes.
I want you to
Ooh.
give out your social media information.
Okay.
Because I want people to follow you. I want people to get to know you.
Yes.
I want people to continue to follow you and be like, I like this girl. I love this girl. And she's inspirational. I'm going to look for her every day. So
Okay.
sing it.
I am Terr Cacilia on all platforms.
Mhm.
That is Twitter,
Mm-hmm.
Facebook, Instagram, which is like Twitter and Instagram are
Mm-hmm.
my mamma jamma. I
Right.
was not a big Twitterer for a while. Now I'm like getting into
I'm not a
it.
Twitter
I like go
person
back
either.
and forth,
Mm-hmm.
but like I think I'm feeling it.
Really?
I think. I don't know. It might change like in 5 minutes. Who knows? I'm also Terr Cacilia on YouTube,
Uh-huh.
which I haven't been putting out content lately, but I plan to with my relaunch.
Right.
And then it's going to be, when my website launches, it'll be www.terrcacilia.com.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Super
yes.
excited.
And when does this launch?
I'm aiming for like the 15th of August.
Okay.
But like obviously I'll blow it up on like Facebook and Instagram and
let me know
everything.
so I can
Yeah.
tell too.
Yes.
And I would love for you to come back to talk
Can
about
I
it.
please come
Yeah,
back? Can I come back like
definitely.
can there be a cycle
Definitely.
of me like coming here
Yeah.
because this was awesome.
Most definitely. Oh, Cruz. I don't know if you heard, but her dad did radio also, and
For
I
a
was
little
telling
while.
because she came up with the idea. She was like, "Oh, my dad, we could have did a show together," and then I said, "You had a show with your kids."
Yeah.
Yep.
He's like, yep.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's not it.
That's so cool.
So yeah.
Yeah.
So thank you so much
Thank
for
you so
joining
much.
me, and you're gonna come back.
Yes, thank you for having me. This
Oh,
was
thank you.
incredible.
Yep.
Yay.
Mm-hmm. And we're done.
In the Mix Radio. In the Mix Radio. Streaming 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So whenever you turn it on, it's on.